What's up, brother? Let me tell you how you can completely reinvent yourself the way I did it, okay? Because listen, 2 years ago I was not even physically or mentally who you see today. Just 2 years ago, okay? I was working an average 9 to 5. I was average. I used to always go out, party, watch porn. I was doing all these bad habits that would lead me to living an average life. And I did something that I'm going to teach you how to do that made me today be where I am. So it's like I got my personal brand. I'm doing my dream job. I got my purpose. I got my dream physique, right? I'm living a life of purpose and of discipline. Like I'm mastering myself doing this. So let me tell you how to do it. So you gotta kill your current self. Okay? Let him go. And the way to do that is difficult, but once you do it, you'll be a completely different man. So first of all, I want you to understand something. It's called lifelines, okay? So you're not stuck being the version of you that you're right now. You're only the version of you that you're right now because that's who you've always been. So there's many versions of you. There's a version of you that is homeless. There's a version of you that is a millionaire already. There's a version of you that has two girlfriends. There's a version of you that is jacked and in shape and he's a top 1% man. There's a version of you that is already dead. Depending on the decisions or the decisions that were made for you when you were young and the way you think, you became the version of you that you are today. Okay? I want you to understand that. So knowing that, we know that you could become another version of you if you change the way you act and you change the way you thought, right? So that's the first thing you gotta understand, because if you don't know that, you think that the way you are right now is the only way you could be, right? A lot of people think like that. They're like, oh, I've always been like that. I've always done that. But that's just me. No, there's a version of you that doesn't do that. There's a version of you that does better. So you gotta just realize that there's him, okay? Now, you want to align yourself with the version of you that you want to become. So how do you do that? You're gonna create him. You're gonna create him in your head, okay? So you could become anything you want. Literally anything you want. But if you don't believe he exists, you're never gonna go in that direction. You're never gonna align yourself with him. So what I want you to do after you're done watching this video is take a paper and literally design your dream self that you would be happy of being, right? The dream version of you that should be like, yeah, like that's who I want to be, right? Don't limit yourself. So literally write everything you want, where you want to live, how you look, how people treat you, how you talk, who are you with? Like, you know what I mean? What are your relationship like? What car do you drive? What's your house? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? Like, what's your life? That version of you, what's his life, right? Okay? Once you do that, you gotta understand that you're here and there's this version that is here, okay? And like the only thing that separates you two is gonna be resistance, okay? So you gotta understand something. The current you, I want you to see him like as an animal, okay? And he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to die because he just wants to survive. It's the current you. It's like he doesn't want to die, right? And it's, let's say you put a rat in the corner, right? And you try to kill him. He's cornered. He doesn't have anything left to do. What is he gonna do? Instead of running, he's gonna turn around. He's gonna start like trying to do something to survive. And that's exactly what the old version of you is gonna do every single day. Okay. Once you start trying to change, you're always gonna be faced with one thing: resistance. It's gonna be the old you telling you, no, please go back to the comfort. Please go back to what we always done. Please go back to the way we always fought. And the reason why you can't change is because you're always letting him win. You're always letting him say, go back to comfort, and you're going back to comfort. Go back to the old habits, and you're going back to the old habits. Go back to watching porn, and you're going back to watching porn because he just wants to survive, right? He's like, you're just trying to survive the way you always been. And once you realize this, that you're always going to have resistance when you're trying to change, the next step is to get over the resistance. And the only way to get over the resistance is through pain, right? Because think about it. You're like killing somebody. You're killing your own self. It's gonna be painful. It's killing something is painful, right? And like you're gonna feel pain when you're trying to change. Now, like it's like every time you're like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, but the future version of you is in shape. You're gonna feel pain when you force yourself to go and you're like, fuck, I don't want to go, and you still go, right? You're gonna feel a little bit of pain. When I say pain, it's not like physical pain. It's like it's the type of pain that it's not comfortable. It's uncomfortable, right? You're gonna feel uncomfort. But you gotta start being okay with that if you're trying to grow, because just know that when you feel uncomfort is good. It means that the old version of you is dying. Every time you have the choice to be uncomfortable or comfortable and you choose discomfort, you just made a decision for the future version of you, the one that you want to be, right? I like to call them V1 and V2. V1 is who you currently are, V2 is who you want to be, okay? And then every time you're going to have that decision. Am I going to do what the V1 version of me would do? Or am I going to do what the V2 version of me would do? Every time you choose V1, you're just letting him survive. Longer and longer and longer. And so most people, they stay in that cycle for like years. For years, they can't change because they never make decisions like the future version of them. Now, what I want you to do is every time you're faced with that, okay? Every time you're in a situation where it's like, you know it's going to be painful and your brain starts to give you all these excuses. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Just ask yourself, what would V2 do? What would the successful version of me do? What would the guy that I want to be do? Just ask yourself this question. And then, once you do that, over and over again, and you get over and then you just make the decision like the future version of you, right? Over and over again. So you slowly kill the old version of you every single day, like a day after day. You do a decision like the new version of you, day after day, day after day, day after day, day after day, day after day. Until one day, the old version of you is completely defeated. And you're a new version, right? And now you're going to have to do this for the third version of you that you want to elevate to, right? Because now you're going to become comfortable doing these things, right? Me, for example, it's like, at first going to the gym, it was hard, like for everybody. And then it got easy. And I wanted to become more disciplined. But the gym was easy for me. It wasn't testing my discipline. So what did I do? I went to the gym twice per day. I literally did this exercise. Like what would it take me for me to become even more disciplined? Going to the gym twice per day. And there was many days where I was like, I don't want to go. But I acted like the future version of me that went to the gym. The disciplined version of me that I wanted to be. And I went. So yeah, just do that every single day. Just after this video, put on a piece of paper, write your future version of you. How would he act? How would he think? And start acting like him. And just remember, when you feel pain, it's normal. It's because you don't want to let the old version of you die. It's normal. Okay? So yeah, thanks for watching. Leave me a like. Don't be greedy with the likes, please, man. Because they'll help other people see the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe for more. And this is all I wanted to say for today. I appreciate you guys.